Album Concept Hour. The Album Concept Hour. It's the Album Concept Hour.
Welcome everybody to the Album Concept Hour. We are here for another episode of season 4. I hope you guys enjoyed our Halloween stuff. That was an indeterminate amount of time ago. But we have more for you guys. We have a little album called Handsome Boys Modeling Schools. So how's your girl?
How is she, Brad?
I don't know. I think that's what we're about to find out. Listening to this album. You just heard Dave, our co-host.
Hello.
He is back from assignment, and he is here to cover some Handsome Boys Modeling School. And we also have Nate. I almost said Nate the Snake Foster. We have Nate here as well. Nate Manny here to also co-host this episode. Welcome guys. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, I'm glad I'm back. I missed a few episodes, but I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure you dropped by a few times during October, but you know,
you weren't around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could have. I sat in the studio, but I don't think I recorded anything. I was just yelling to this microphone.
Oh, that's right. I had you muted.
Yeah, I was muted.
Mm-hmm. My bad.
I did all my bits, Brad.
That happens sometimes. Sometimes, like an entire person, I just accidentally cut out, and there's nothing you can do about it. Today we have a very, very cool album. This is one that Dave picked up off the list. That is one that we've been really, really dying to cover.
To do.
We've been meaning to do especially ever since we did the Prince Paul's Prince Among Thieves. Like this is
and Deltron.
And Deltron. This is like somewhere in the middle of those two.
It is. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's snug.
And we have Dan the Automator and Prince Paul as the main
driving forces.
Yes, behind this one. There's a lot of guests on this one, past and present that are relevant, past and present. A lot of important 90s people. Deltron, of course. Well, Del, the Funky Homosapien. I think this might be before. Is this before he was called Deltron? I don't think we looked that up. When Deltron 33.
Deltron might have been like more of another project that he was doing.
Oh,
I think
it was. I can't remember if it was the same time or
2000.
It was right. So Deltron was after this.
Yeah. So Deltron, came out right after this. So if you listen to our Deltron episode, we kind of talk a little bit about what Dan the Automator's doing and whatnot. And I think there was a Prince Paul.
I think there were
track.
References to, or I probably made references to the Handsome Boy Modeling School.
Yeah.
Handsome Boys.
Yeah. So Handsome Boys Modeling School. What a name for.
Well, it's the best $60 I spent, Brad.
It is. It's. What did the commercial say? I could have spent it on something else, or I forget.
If it was for Prince Paul and Dan, I would still have $60.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. I would still have $60.
Well, literally, it was the best $60 I ever spent.
Absolutely, I agree. And we're gonna learn all about Handsome Boys Modeling School. But before we get to that, I think in order to learn a little bit about the origins of this group, this album, it might be helpful to do some wiki facts. All right, this is the wiki facts.
All right, Brad, what do you got?
Segment of the
I'm
podcast.
new here, so I'm going to let you take the reins, and I'll jump in.
I'm going to start out with a very important fun fact that I was going to get to anyway, but it's the fact that Handsome Boys Modeling School is a reference to a 90s sitcom called Get a Life, starring Chris Eliot.
Eliot.
Yeah. And it's from an episode where Chris Eliot enrolls in said Handsome Boys Modeling School.
It worked for him.
It worked for him. It worked for everyone in the class. And it's the best $60 any of them ever spent. So yeah, we'll talk more about that episode as we go on through the podcast, because that's kind of the kind of one thread kind of connecting the tissue of this. But yeah, that's my little wiki fact. What about you, Nate? And then we'll end with Dave.
So my wiki fact is that I didn't realize that this project involved Mike Patton until I recognized him in the ad, and then I looked it up on Wikipedia, and he's from Faith No More and Mr. Bungle and all these other acts, and he didn't do any stuff on this album, but he did do stuff on their second album, White People.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is definitely like that video is like an Easter egg of like
projects
cameos.
to come.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and yeah, just people that they're cool with in general. LPs in that one. Yeah. There's a lot of fun facts to find if you dig in for this one.
Just unwind and unravel all those tasty little treats.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? You got any facts over there? Oh shit.
Whoa, Brad, was that an incoming fact?
Oh, that's right. I unmuted Facebook for some reason. Why would I ever do that?
That's a terrible idea.
A terrible decision.
Wait, does Facebook have a fact, or should I just
No. You should continue.
Okay,
continue. Mark's going to leave me alone for now. I mean,
okay. So I'm not, because we're on Wikipedia, right? There's no way you can't change anything on Wikipedia.
There's no way, as far as I can tell.
All right. So these facts that I came across.
Yeah.
Handsome Boy Mountain School is in fact very important in the Balkans.
Oh,
they are
the
top modeling school.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
the Balkans.
I've heard that somewhere.
It's somewhere. Someone mentions, but yes, it is a fact from Wikipedia. I did not change that. Yeah.
Wikipedia facts are all true.
All facts,
as we know in this segment. We trust them implicitly. And
they have our seal of approval from Flavor State Park and album concept hour. The wiki facts are facts.
Remember, and if you're in the Balkans right now, you might still be able to find a Handsome Boy model.
Oh, I'm sure they're all Handsome Boy models.
$60 is the flat rate.
The best money, $60 you ever spend.
Best you ever spent.
There we go. Facts.
All right. Well, let's get to some tracks then. We have about 16 tracks, and we might just fade out on the 17th track that's got some good stuff in it, because it's not technically part of the original release of the album, but it is an amazing track on its own. Yeah, we're going to start though with just a little taste of what they can do. This is Rock and Roll Could Never Hip Hop Like This.
Check it out, George. Hey, rock and roll could never ever hip hop like this. Check it out, George. Hey, rock and roll could never ever hip hop like this.
Yeah, that just now reminded me a little bit of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh.
A little bit. Dance with the trumpets. Like that could, they're doing the same kind of.
Everyone just like doing their little moves, like Meatwad shaking and Fry doing his little Fry.
It is that kind of style. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, again, so this is something we've talked about a few times, but this is kind of a maybe turning point as far as mixing hip hop music goes, where there's a lot of copyright laws that were changing, and it was becoming harder to sample.
Kind of like the tail end of that.
Basically, like this is one of the later projects where that was kind of allowed without paying insane amounts of money for the rights before you release it. For a lot of people, they were operating on getting little pieces of songs and using them for the songs.
These little nuggets, these little sound bites,
without necessarily giving the copyright to the artist, because being that there was many different songs in the one song, that would make it so you do get nothing. You know what I mean? I only say that to mention that, like, there's a reason that some of this sounds so like crisp and I don't know, the beats are so banging.
And since we're kind of on the subject, a a slight segue, but there was a YouTube, I think I brought this up in the past, but it's called Crate Diggers. And I believe Dan the Automator for sure, if not Prince Paul both, were on this series.
Mm-hmm.
We're basically being interviewed, showing their entire record collections and talking about like, how do they find stuff. And it literally is crate digging. Like, where do they find, like, how do they find all these bits? And so I'm guessing if you know anything about Dan or Paul, like, any of the other projects they worked on has a very similar kind of sound to a lot of his bits, where like they bring in all these literally samples. They're just increasing their like the soundtracks.
Finding the best little
little nuggets
bit
there
of
here and there, and
a
just
song, and putting them all together. That's like people in the 90s were operating at a real high level with that. This is also, you can kind of hear a little bit of that, Fatboy Slim kind of sound with the, I don't know, the...
like the mixing or like the...
like the rhythm of it, the kind of like the keys with the like the drum thing that's just slightly off from the keys.
Slightly electric, but still slightly mixing and like sampling and like just...
like you can, I don't know, it's...
Brad, rock and roll cannot hip hop like this.
You can still hear the original tune.
Yes.
I guess that's the big difference, probably.
The sample you can still hear and make out.
Whereas, nowadays the name of the game is to maybe take a sample like that, but then mask it as much as possible and change it to something else.
I think that part of that was called Big Beat, which is like Prodigy, Chemical Brothers. Yeah. Fatboy Slim.
Yeah, which was they were the head honchos of this.
And one of those was actually
production.
a fire starter.
Oh yeah.
Twisted Fire Starter.
Very.
Fire starter. It's a fire starter. Something.
Twisted Fire Starter.
Twisted Fire Starter. Is that what it says? Twisted Fire Starter?
Yeah. That's what he says in the I am the fire starter. Twisted Fire Starter.
Okay. Twisted Fire Starter.
I just checked Brad on Wiki, and that is true.
Oh, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. But what was I going to say? Something about this title. What was I going to say about this title?
Rock and roll can never hip hop like this.
I just think it's a really, really cool line, but it's also like, of course. Of course it couldn't.
Vice versa, because their next album, I believe,
it's impossible for it to hip hop like
white people. They have a rock roll. I think it's Rock Roll Can Never Hip Hop Like This Part 2.
Oh, really?
And it begins with like all of like the original sort of like DJs like talk, like they drop their names, who they worked with, and their sampling and everything they've done.
Yeah.
And like there's like quotes saying, we didn't have these beats. Like we had to search for it. Like basically they looked for like the early on days of hip hop was digging through everything from like disco to rock to like just to have like a loop to like a beat, like something happening just to put behind them. Like they started creating that sound from everything else. Like hip hop was born from every genre pretty much. Like it basically came from
and
everything.
this is almost like the tail end of that whole way of doing things before the copyright went and changed
pretty much
that process, because you weren't allowed to do that exactly that way anymore.
Because was it Paul's Boutique? How the hell? The last I remember seeing was like this is a long time ago, but it was like over $2 million just to clear like all the rights for all those songs.
I can only imagine for Paul's
I guarantee
Boutique.
It's probably way more than that, but I remember like it was a while back they mentioned like just a couple million just for that alone. Yeah.
Speaking of samples, I got whosampled.com up here to help us throughout this album, because
there are a lot of samples.
There's a lot of samples. And there's part 2. Part 1 though. It's got the On Fire by Stetisonic, Toe Jam by Mount Rushmore, and You Best Give It Up by Jesse and the Meltones. So 60, 70, and 80 respectively for those. Or
some good tunes. I
guess 80, 60, and 70 if you're going the order that I listed them. But yeah, they're pulling from some great crates. This next track though is bringing in someone that we have talked about earlier that worked with Automator in a big way for Deltron 3030. And this is, I guess, honestly, a sneak peek into what would eventually
chronologically, yeah, it would have been.
So yeah, this is magnetizing.
On the mic, waste time on the hype personas. We're on the television trying to get Del to listen to that garbage and gobbledygook. So I read a book. I prefer manga with mecha. My respectable rhyme styles and textures. Yes, you're getting extra. Flex your little style, I fluctuate. Too much to take in one sitting, and I stun citizens describing shit we living in that don't make a bit of sense. Like stick up kids.
This is definitely all Del.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is.
Like, that's the thing is like, this is, the concept here is more the
sort of
bringing together.
Yeah.
It's like a guerrillas project or any other collaboration project. It's like the collaboration is what's kind of important here. And yeah, what we're thinking is they just let them, whoever was coming in, kind of do, for the most part, do what they wanted to do. Yeah. Because, yeah, like there's a lot of different writing credits throughout here. Like sometimes, like they have Del the Funky Homosapien, for instance, that has a writing credit, of course, because he's doing the raps. But that's one thing I did notice, like looking through the notes, is that there was a lot of true collaboration between the people in this album. But this is. You were saying earlier, like this could definitely like fit into.
No, it easily could slide right into a 3030.
Yeah, I agree, completely agree. He's
Del and
clearly
Dan,
in the same
like,
headspace.
It works so well together, and you can see like now you're going 99 to 2000 technically, right?
Yeah.
That this was like that jumping point for like them probably working together. If you actually,
I was thinking the way studios work, these might have even happened within like the same sessions. You know what I mean? It could be that like this happened in the middle of 3030. Like Del stepped away a few times to record this, because. Yeah, that happens all the time because that's smart for studio stuff, like to cut time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that especially from the sound and like what he's rapping about,
it could have been easily like the early demo.
It's almost like he doesn't know which album he's in this track.
He's just singing now.
You know what I mean? He's like, I could put it on either one, I guess. I mean, Dan the Automator is the one really in charge here.
Exactly.
So, but. Yeah, I love that he references manga and mech stuff here too. He's because he's always had stuff that kind of sets him apart from other rappers of the time. He uses different sci-fi metaphors and imagery more than anything.
It literally, like, it's just what Del does. Like, he just has that very
that's what he cares
interesting.
About. Yeah.
And what you were saying earlier, Nate, like, I agree. I think my first experience or exposure from Del was from the Tony Hawk 3 game. Like, I remember hearing that song, and I guarantee if you're listening to this, you know exactly what song we're talking about. Like,
you gotta wash your ass if you must, or else you'll be funky.
You cannot collect the letters to make Skate without hearing that song, and you loved it.
No. That was
the beat was
one
really
of the best.
Too, yeah.
We are going to have to do Tony Hawk at some point. I think that I should probably add that to the list, honestly.
It is a great concept.
It's a legendary soundtrack. It's what is it, like 40 something songs?
I mean, every one of those is great. I mean, you could also do like the Grand Theft Auto as a concept album too, because they had some crazy shit too.
Not the newer ones though.
Well, no.
Like
Laszlo, we could talk.
Like 3, 4.
Laszlo. Oh man, I'd love to do something about Laszlo. Honestly, maybe a YouTube video or something. But Laszlo
find that guy,
is my shit.
Invite him onto the show.
Yeah, you want to talk about like early like podcast vibes, like Laszlo Chatterbox is long before we were doing this stuff and trying to do like sketch characters for no one.
Back at the time, I was just trying to like just run people over with a car. That's all I was doing.
That's what I was doing too, until I realized that there was like a continuity to this radio show, and then we parked the car and just listened for like an hour. Me and my friend just sitting around the screen. All the Zoomers are scratching their chins like, what are they talking about? But this next track we got for you guys is called Metaphysical, parentheses, A Good Day. And this has got one of your personal favorites, Dave. This has got Mike D and also Miho Hattori from, I'll let you know after the clip.
Into the corner of interdimensional trans-global marketing schemes, loop dreams, culminating of horizontal posturing, intertwined sheet music, epic in proportion, enigmatic implosions, inclusive of the masses. I get metaphysical.
Metaphysical.
It's a good day.
Oh yeah.
It's a good day.
Good day.
I feel like this is placed really perfectly in the album, by the way. Like,
it's
putting it right after Dell is like good choice.
It's a home run in my opinion.
Yeah. Continues that weird.
For a soundtrack, a playlist, like an album, like you want to kind of like pick it up, but you also start wanting to bring it down a little bit. You don't want to like, you want to get people a little comfortable. You want to get, you know, you're in for a ride. You're going to be sitting down watching a movie or this album for, 40 minutes, an hour and a half. You want to like,
yeah, especially with like Prince Paul involved. Like he's pretty cinematic in his approach to things. So, which you can tell by some of the music videos and their advertisement that they did for the album. It just flows really nicely. It's got us, and it's what's nice is it's kind of slows down but maintains the like content,
the same vibe, like the same samples, the same feeling, like that
similar.
60s,
I think
70s.
they say similar things.
Yeah,
and as she says similar things as Dell. She's saying stuff like computating through terabytes of RAM. She kind of one-ups Dell, honestly. She out-Dells Dell in this track, I think.
Which is very hard, but it's impressive, like the shit that's... she's dropping some bars.
And Mike D mostly kind of takes a backseat.
He does. He doesn't have to do much. He's got that voice. He kind of like just like puts that the anchor down. He kind of like just...
Yeah. Let's
her do her thing.
Yeah. He was just.
He doesn't need to do any flashy shit. It's Mike D.
That's true. Yeah. He just needs to put his name there.
You see Mike D. You want? I'm down.
And I don't know. Where was that? What were they doing back in '99? Were they still on the way?
The boys? Up? Oh yeah, they were still playing. I think Hello Nasty just came out at that time.
Okay. Yeah.
At that point in their career, I mean, they were just going balls crazy as far as like ideas and sampling and just doing crazy stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, this tracks for '99 Mike D.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've always liked about Mike D. He seems like he kind of fits anywhere. He seems like a very chameleon kind of guy, and he's not very.
He exactly. He works right in between both, and as that band MCA and Adrec, he is that bridge between like their everything about them.
Yeah,
he brings them together.
Yeah, he's good dude.
You hear that, Mike D? You're good shit.
You're good shit, man. You're good shit. It's a good day. It's
a good day
Notes.
if you got Mike D.
I already said this. Very Deltron lyrics. Oh, Mio Hattori is from the group Cibo Matto from Cibo Matto.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that like Italian?
I'm not sure.
Okay, but Cibo Matto from New York City. She's the vocalist for that, primary vocalist. No, she's primarily known as the vocalist. I can read. Fun track to bridge between magnetizing and then look at this face. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. So this is right. This is where we get into
the Chris Eliot,
the Chris Eliot of it all. Yeah. So
the core.
Yeah, this is the why of Handsome Boys.
If this is the Ben & Jerry ice cream, this would be the core.
Yes. Look at this face. Oh my God, they're gorgeous.
Become successful male models. Bring your beautiful face and a check for $60.
Oh my God, they're gorgeous.
You must be another handsome boy graduate.
Oh my God, they're gorgeous.
You must be another handsome boy graduate.
Oh my God, they're gorgeous.
For those that know me,
Oh yeah, I also included the
Intro
of Waterworld because I like that transition. But we'll get to Waterworld. Waterworld's dope.
It's got Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have not seen Waterworld. I've just heard all the things about it. And I've seen the one scene.
We'll take a quick 2-hour break. We'll come right back.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Handsome Boy Modeling School. My name is Sal Quantizio. The next few minutes, we're going to take a look inside to see what makes Handsome Boy Modeling School such a special place. Have you ever wondered what it takes to be a handsome boy model? If the answer is yes, then pay attention. Let's go inside.
They turn their piss into drinking water.
All right, we're back. That was an interesting film.
Dennis Hopper was crazy.
Yeah. He was how they say wilding out there in the water world.
He was.
Yeah.
He had his ex on Valdez.
Yeah, I still don't know if I fully understand
Brad was
it,
on board.
Yeah. I was shouting a lot. So this track is literally clips from the episode that they named their band out off of, which is called The Prettiest Week of My Life. Which is I love that
the
title.
Best episode title.
That's a great episode title just to begin with. Essentially he hears of it. Really just starts off like he's already clued into the modeling school stuff. Like that story beat is already taken care of.
He bought his ticket.
He goes in and pays $60 to Bill Murray's brother is playing the character he goes to, and I'll just say hilarity ensues for now. They'll touch more upon that later in the modeling sucks part of the episode. But
wait, modeling sucks?
Yeah, eventually he gets a little disillusioned with the modeling. But I think probably my favorite part about this whole Handsome Boys Modeling School being the inspiration is like they were sitting on this probably inside joke for 9 years.
Oh yeah.
Like they watched this in 1990 probably when it aired. Somehow, I don't know if they just watched it once and kept repeating it to each other, or if they taped it and were able to rewatch it or something, but like that was back in the day where that was something like that wasn't guaranteed. Like you weren't guaranteed
this was
to see.
not TiVo. You didn't have your scheduled recordings. You literally either you caught it like okay. So I think I chatted with you a little bit about this, Brad. Like I remember the show vaguely. Just like I kind of remember like the Dana Carvey show. I don't think I caught every episode or the Ben Stiller show. Like there's all these like in the early 90s like. Again, as a child, maybe around the time like 10, 11, like I wasn't like going through the TV guide, like I need to watch this show at this time. Like if I happen to catch it, you would catch it. I mean, that was the time like you weren't really recording shit.
Was it was that one on primetime?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, you weren't recording stuff. Yeah.
No. I would just turn the TV on if I was home and what sound was on.
Like you had no way of knowing it was going to be a good episode.
No.
Like
we were just like rolling the dice. If I'm gonna be home, I'm gonna maybe watch this episode.
Yeah. Like if it was a show that you already liked, you'd maybe plan for it and either be there or
way before Netflix,
timer,
anything like that. Like it was like the Wild West. Like I'm going to turn the TV on and surf and like what is this? This might be.
Well, there was the TV Guide channel eventually.
Yes.
Eventually.
Oh yes.
I remember waiting for the scroll, and if you weren't paying attention, you were like, "Holy shit!" It went all. You got to wait.
You miss it.
Yeah, now we're in like Telemundo and like Brazzers TV or some shit.
When we were younger,
whatever it would have been for that time.
Yeah. I was about to say
literally got the printed TV guide in the mail, and you would give you the full weeks, and you would actually could scroll through page by page.
We killed papers for this shit.
Yes, we killed trees to entertain us.
We killed trees. Yeah. We killed papers.
We killed trees so we know when American Gladiators was on.
The goddamn TV Guide.
Yeah. That's what we used to do. We were savages. So I like to think about just them connecting on this joke or whatever. Like I'm assuming because in order for it to be such an impactful,
there was something
like this had to be like repeated to each other. Like this had to be something that like was
they went back and forth.
Yeah.
Or one of them thought it was like, hilarious. Maybe like made this joke.
Maybe they separately saw it and then like they were like, oh wait, you saw that episode too, and connected that way. I'd love to hear if there is an origin story with that, but like Also, the names that they have are there's one name loosely based on a Chris Eliot character from a movie, and I forget what the other one's named after. Merriweather's a different thing.
Nathaniel Merriweather and Sam Rockwell?
Yeah.
Or
The Nathaniel Merriweather, I think, was from a different Chris Eliot movie. I'll try to look this up before we get to the next track. But yeah. There's
but I mean, at that point, Chris Eliot was already the cabin boy, so I mean, he was only going up with the modeling school at this point. Right?
That's true. The modeling school worked.
Oh,
Chris Eliot's career is a skyrocket after this, I think.
I can't remember what was first now. I'm failing.
I mean, he was fairly young in that, so I mean, I think that most of what we see for Chris Eliot is after this, if I were to guess.
But if you haven't seen Cabin,
like I said, the modeling
Boy,
school, he did the modeling school, so he was,
and then he got his name out, right?
He was ready for the movies.
Yeah, he got his name out.
Yeah. Speaking of Kevin Costner, this next track is Waterworld.
Flood cometh, wash away your blockade, flush your brigade. Trying to sandbag, clever words together to weather the storm. Poems poured on cassettes with architects sweat in the pores of his form. When he pets tech 12s, I delve deep in this abyss. Inspect hell, tell a fallen angel to eat a dick if he gets pissed, cause this is Waterworld.
Yeah. I love that fucking beat, dude. Yeah, so Waterworld, this has got one of the coolest coolest samples, I think, in the album. That water stuff is crazy. Cuz it's got like a rhythm to it and shit. Like, I'm not sure what exactly they're doing to
It's got that drip, as they would say.
It's got the drip. Let me see if I can find
But it ain't wearing any clothes.
Is that a lyric?
No. Drip is what the kids these days would call like fashion sense.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of it in the movie Waterworld.
I thought you were saying like it's naked.
There's great post-apocalyptic fashion sense in Waterworld. Lots of leather.
Yeah.
Lots of
it's like Mad Max, but on the water.
Yeah.
Mad Max
that's
with
the
pirates.
Kind of feeling that I got.
Right?
Yeah. That's the feeling I got when I watched it.
It's less like Pirates of Darkwater, but more like Mad Max.
Yeah, less cars.
Definitely less cars.
A lot less cars.
You got jet skis, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's the big thing that's kind of separating it, I think. But yeah, so that the water stuff is from the song Tohu Bohu Part 1 by Mark Moulin. Multiple elements from that it's a jazz blues kind of album, but I really like that. I listened to the track on its own when I was doing the research for this, and it's very interesting. Yeah, Waterworld, and he Encore is the rapper on this, and he clearly is riffing off of the sound of this track. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the drippiness.
Yeah. He's got a lot of drippiness in his flow. For those that know me, indeed, I like to flow, is what he says.
He's full on leaking at this point.
He's leaking. You doubt me like the foes of Noah, embarking in this ark, the sole controller. This is one thing this is one of my favorite things, I guess, when fucking MF Doom does this a lot. He'll have like it's like he decides on a theme before he starts a rap, I really like what that brings out of some rappers, and because they're just because you can rap about anything, and when you're like freestyling or whatever, you're probably defaulting to certain things that that you've used a few times before. But I
used to joke about it, like ODB would just whatever, he look around a room and just start pointing at things and just rapping. Like that was like, I feel like that was his motif. Like he would just like what the fuck is this guy talking about right now?
Oh my God.
Which is a fine way to do it, but it's not the only way to do it.
I don't mean to break our flow too much here, but when my wife was originally living on her own and I stayed at her house once, her roommate came home with this guy at like 3 a.m. and they were all hopped up on coke. Sweet. And the guy was trying to rap about the microwave, but it was not ODB level. It was shitty. He was like, "Yo, I pop them like popcorn in the microwave," and then
no, I think he was just really hungry.
God. Yeah,
it's like
just
he just
a rando.
And we had to get up and like be like, "Okay, sorry, but your after bar is over. I have to work at 6 in the morning.
Can you stop the bars?"
Yeah,
I think he couldn't like say, "I want some popcorn right now." He was just like the only way he could handle it was actually just like trying to rap about the microwave.
Yeah, they were shit. But anyway, yeah, that made me think of it when you said ODB rapping about anything in the room is like, well, there's the good version of that, and there's the bad version of that.
There's pots and pans and cats and jam. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing right now?
Yeah.
Pots and pans and cats and jam. Hell yeah. ODB's newest one is dropping posthumously.
But no, like, yeah, like exactly back to what you're saying, like themes, like when you hit that mark, I think like Dell does that very well too, where like, you can tell like his laser
he's really
sight
thinking out.
He's got like a plan, and he's just working on he's shipping it all the way through, like like making a stone, like a statue of stone, just like picking away. Like, I know exactly what I'm doing. This is this little bit right here. Yeah, I got this.
Yeah. It's always super impressive when it's landed. So yeah, Waterworld's a great track. We're not gonna pick apart the lyrics too much. There's just a lot of really fun, water themed stuff going on in here. Recommend checking it out.
There's jet skis, there's boats, there's water, there's peeing into Mr. Coffee's. We got everything in this.
Got an astral plane here too. Yeah. Oh, and they mentioned Canasta, a card game
everyone loves
that is similar to Gin Rummy.
Probably when you're down south, surrounded by water, you probably want to play Canasta.
I think it's like Gin and Rummy, but like with more decks. I think there's more decks, so there are more people.
I think it's like a double decks.
Yeah, something like that. I haven't played in a while. My grandma taught me.
I feel like in a few more years, I'll start like a Canasta league. I feel like that's where I'm going in my life.
Let's get some euchre going, dude.
Well, you do that anytime. You have to twist my arm, Brad.
All right. Anyone out there, right now that wants to play some euchre?
We'll take a 2-hour break. We're going to play some euchre.
Georgie girl, why do all the boys just pass you by? Could it be you just don't try, or is it the clothes you wear?
And we're back. Man, I can't believe I lost.
It was your first time, long. Brad. Come on.
Yeah, just bad luck tonight. First Waterworld, then this.
Yeah.
I've never understood euchre, and I lost so many times, y'all.
Yeah.
Just like I've lost so many times to my dad and my brother and my friends.
He was probably reneging back to back. Like, I don't know what to throw down.
Yeah. How did we play euchre with 3 people? We'll never tell.
What's a bower? I don't know.
But
we had a 4th AI participant.
We had Apollo sit in as the 4th man.
He's probably doing a pretty solid job there.
Yeah. He's got a good poker face.
Good.
Yeah. We got another track for you guys. This is going to be track 6 of the album. This is once again Here to Kick One for you.
Now you know I got to come back strong. See, I've been doing this too goddamn long for me to ever try to come back wrong. Check my pockets and my empty light just came on. Don't want to do wrong, so I think I best to make this song. Undeniably, satisfiably, master microphone, mutilated, none greater, ain't no...
Yeah. That is Sadat X, I think that was.
I believe so.
Yeah. Because there's Sadat X and Grand Puba in this one, who are from Brand Nubian. That's what I was saying. Gives me a lot of like Fugees vibes.
Yes, I definitely now remember that was the track that I started looking up the Fugees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we couldn't remember what's his name. Wyclef Jean. Yeah. It
was a pretty bad mental fart there. I just remember looking at Brad like I don't know why I can't.
I always remember Lauryn Hill. And then Praz. Praz was the third.
Yes,
guy. That's right. Yeah, we're remembering. It only took us a few hours.
It was on the wiki.
It was on the wiki. Yeah, that's where we learned. That's where I learned everything. But yeah, I think that was Sadat X for that one. No, that's Puba. That's Puba. Now you know I got to come back strong. I've been doing this too goddamn long for me to ever try to come back wrong. I think that for this, it's this line is like both about the song and about his kind of career or whatever. Like
the rap journey.
Yeah, I've been doing this too long to come back. Oh yeah, that's right. Check my pockets, an empty light just came on. Don't want to do so. I think I'm best to make this song. Undeniably, satisfiably, master microphone mutilator. Sorry. Then we got Sadat X, which I think came up on Prince Paul, I want to say. But again, I can't remember because that was a while ago.
Because I think I missed that episode, but yeah, the Prince Monk themes was
very similar.
It was a while.
I mean, guess not sonically very similar to this,
No.
In the like the way it's produced and put together and how many people are on it, and
I'm just saying, like when we did it, because I was not on that, so like that was a while back because I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a 2-episode one, that one, 'cause that was a double. I can't remember if we did that in the same night.
Man, I feel like
good track. Kind of, it's like I feel like it's like there's like a few other tracks on the album that are like almost a better version of this.
For sure, but at the same time, I think they laid the groundwork for like what we were talking about earlier, where like you had like at this time in '99, like there was a different vibe of rap that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Prince Paul and Dan the Automator still had their foot in the old guard, but still like they were whatever in the past before this, they were like changing the game at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when this dropped, it was the same thing, but just no one realized like how hard or how different this was actually going to change it.
Yeah.
The genre.
Yeah.
At the time, when you look at it, like, it doesn't seem like it's anything, but when you look back, it really did, I think, did change rap.
You think this album is influential?
I don't know if this album per se, but I think in this time period right now was that crucial part where like where it was going.
I think it did,
because I think it was
there's like
veering
a fork
very
in the road,
far
kind
into like
of.
the party, the money. Like I think this was one of the staple albums that had like maybe started bringing like maybe people back. Like they heard this, like, well, maybe it's not everything's like this.
This is kind of making fun of that success in a way too.
In a way,
in a meta
because
way,
it's like
they're act like as handsome boy modeling guys,
like these playboys.
Yeah. They're playing up that which
almost
gets even
could be a Jay-Z style character in that sense. Like this very
and just trying to show a different side of things. But because they were obviously not interested in all necessarily the rest of the rap industry and where that was going. They were interested in the sound and the production.
Very much the sound, like the samples, like what they could create, like I think, and again, picking like all these rappers to be on this album was just also again very good choices throughout the whole, like just showing like the spectrum and just like the talent and like what rap could be, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's definitely a few that kind of show where it's going. I think this is when I was just thinking this is like I guess a turning point album, like you were saying. It is like a little bit of the past, a little bit of the future.
It shifts a little bit, like it just kind of like turns like, well, how about this? How about this?
Actually,
let's try that. Well,
speaking of which, this next track I think is gonna be an example of that. This is The Truth.
The man looking back is looking back as you would like. You can't hide from the truth because the truth is all there is. You can't hide from the truth because the truth is all there is.
So I was saying to Dave before we were recording, I always heard this one in the context of dubstep radio when I was in the warehouse we used to work at.
The ACDs.
And I always assumed that it was a newer track, and it was from a newer group.
Yeah.
I had no idea that this is from '99.
This is not from like what 2013, 14.
Yeah. Is that how you felt, Nate, when you heard this?
That's how I felt for sure.
Yeah.
I just said wow, like this is the first time I'm hearing this, but or like the first time I'm hearing this fact.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it surprised me. It made me say wow when I heard
out loud. Yeah.
Out loud. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow out loud.
It's and this is like what a lot of dub dudes kind of aspired to.
Dub dudes
to
the
mimic.
Dub dudes like the vibes.
Those dub dudes. That's what they called themselves, right?
Well, I think so. I mean, I can check Wikipedia, Brad, but I think, nope. Dub dudes.
Dub dudes. Yeah. That's what Wikipedia is telling us. We have no reason to
not believe it.
Not trust great Wikipedia, our Lord and Savior.
But so again, I'm going to jump back. Like when I first heard this album, I believe it was 2005. I was just moved to Michigan for a little bit of time, and I swear my friend Nick threw this out there because I know we talked about Del before, because I remember we played I swear he's the one who jumped out like, oh, Del the Funky Homosapien, because I remember it was a track I loved during Tony Hawk 3, and I remember again earlier here in Deltron. But I think just to this day I had no idea when it was recorded. I swear this dropped like mid 2000s. When I saw it was 99, it blew my mind. Like I did not think it was 99. I really thought it was like early mid 2000s.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the looking forward tracks,
and they were trendsetters.
Yeah, trendsetting.
And again, another conversation earlier, because I swear this track really sounds, in my opinion, I brought this up, but it reminds me of Dessa from the Doom Tree Collective out of Minneapolis. Like that same vibe, like everything about this entire track, like whoever, I don't know if it was Prince or Dan, but like the beat.
Yeah.
It really, and I don't know if that's where she got her sound, or really she get her intro, but like it sounds very close to like an early Dessa track.
That is Roisin Murphy, by the way, is the voice you're hearing right there. And she shows up a lot in this album. She does a lot of, especially this one moving forward. She's got a lot of guest vocals, and then this one ends with J Live as the outro. I'm not too familiar with J Live outside of this, but he's got a good verse. He's got a good verse though, for sure.
Solid track, like.
But it's definitely not the kind of what you remember about the track necessarily.
It doesn't, but like it's also a track that like. Again, this whole album fits that bill, but this track, again, does not feel like it's 99. It feels like it's so later than 99, which, again, brings me to an earlier point where they set the bar and started changing the soundscape of rap again. Like, I think
you might be right. Like, in a similar way that maybe King Crimson would represent to, like, rockers at the time. Like, they loved, I mean, this is my fan theory about King Crimson, is that rockers loved King Crimson and knew about some of the things they were doing, because it seems like some rock kind of follows some of the trends that King Crimson decided to follow. But I
mean, that happens with any timepiece, any band, any genre. Like when you have enough, like a band that's maybe starting out or make something very prolific, you have fans or people that like that band, and they start like either try to emulate it, or they tried to maybe make something like it but their own spin. Like you start creating other, I mean, that's the beauty of music in general, because it can go anywhere.
But since these guys aren't really the type of guys to take center stage super often, they can easily fall in between the cracks,
exactly,
as far as the conversation goes. So I think it's good to give them their like credit to, like, that they had an influence that is maybe
just gently kind of pushing the boundary to the point where people are like, oh, what is this?
It's hard to measure the influence if it's not in a monetary way. A lot of people think that's the only metric that matters. You almost music, have to, and it's not.
You almost have to go back from like the future and look back like, holy shit, this now, like you can actually see like the change actually happening instead of being in the moment. We're like, what is this? It doesn't make sense.
So that's because some of the best art is is way after the fact, still resonates even more.
Number one,
that's what good art is.
I think the number example, Velvet Underground, their first album, didn't sell a lot, but the rumor or joke was everyone who bought the album made a band.
Exactly.
Same thing. Like you make something and like enough people hear it. you change it.
Yeah, just focus on making good shit.
Just
shit that
just
like makes you move.
Don't imitate. Just do something different.
Yeah.
What do you fucking like? Make
what
that.
do you like?
Take a walk on the wild side.
Hell yeah.
Holy Calamity. I don't have a transition. This next track is Holy Calamity, in parentheses, Bear Witness 2, and then we'll take a break after you talk about it.
Holy calamity, scream insanity, or you rather go to be another great fan of me. Wait. Do it.
Oh man, I love the production on that one.
This track is just
fun.
bonkers.
It is really, really fun.
I just want to scream too.
Yeah, like it shouldn't work, you know? It doesn't seem like it should work, but it totally does.
The needle, I think, moves closer to like Deltron in that sense. Like there's this weird like layering, sampling, like this weird bass that's happening. And this sometimes repetitive. I don't know. It's just it
is. You are starting to, I guess, see what we're talking about with the sampling, where like they're starting to make the samples so different and so their own thing that it's something different entirely.
This weird like soundscape they're just creating like all these tracks.
Yeah, like this one, I would wager for this one that it doesn't sound very much like
the originals.
You know, I'm gonna pull those up, but I can't imagine. We have Kashmir by the Kashmir Stage Band, Train Sequence by Jeffrey Sumner, and The Dump by Soul Variations. But it sounds like they're doing a lot of change-ups to these.
It sounds like they're going very back and forth, like the early, like the early mid '80s, like the DJ where like they kind of like not scratching, but they're going between like a couple records back and forth, kind of quick to kind of give you like almost like a different sampling.
Yeah. I think the lyrics might be from Train Sequence. It looks like from Jeffrey Sumner from. Could that be from 1958?
Probably.
Is that possible? It sounds so clean. Fuck.
I mean, a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that was recorded pretty clean.
It depends on the band, because there's a lot of bands.
Their access to resources.
Well, and if anyone knows how to clean up vocals, these guys do. So.
Well, again, it depends on the music. I guess I don't know about the Jeffrey Summer band or who they were technically.
Yeah.
It says also spoken words, so it's probably more listed as like a maybe folk style.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
But
maybe it's
in the 50s,
less
60s, like the recording studio, like it was really hard to get on multiple tracks. They only used a few, so they only had a couple mics, and you were really kind of adjusting like where you're set up between like the band. And that time was like larger bands, so you had larger brass instruments.
Yeah.
And you're separating the mics between like you didn't need them near the drums. You want to keep them sort of, maybe the vocals are different like instruments.
Oh yeah, you want to keep everything else as far away from the drums.
So
as
again,
possible.
depending on what this band was, if they're mostly vocal, it could have been a really good, probably solid recording if they were just using a mic to record a voice.
Yeah, we'll have to look into it though, because like there's these are again the other tracks are from '73. This one's 58, and then they come together to sound very, very sharp.
Again, I think another reason why Dan and Paul are so amazing because of like this collection that they have to pull from, like these weird samples and this weird who has all these goddamn records? Seriously, when you really think about it, like this as a collection, like who has these weird one-offs? Like
it really, I mean, you literally have to be
the reason you're buying this is for this job is because you want to find like this beat, you want to find like this little nugget, this little like thing you want to throw on here and loop it.
It's I'd love to start figuring out how this stuff works. Listening to this album really made me want to attempt some mixing, you know what I mean? I was like, I wonder if I could just like take the songs that they used to make this song and try to do it again. But I doubt I could, but I don't know. It'd be a fun thing to try out, I guess, to test my abilities. But
pick a new hobby.
Pick a new hobby. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue this one. Yeah. Holy calamity!
Yeah.
Bear witness.
That's it.
Let me see if there's any lyrics. Really, there's mostly just the stuff being repeated. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break, guys. And when we come back, we have 8 more tracks for you.
Holy calamity!
Wait, was this a track? Oh yeah, that's right. This is a DJ Shadow and DJ Quest. We almost forgot to mention that. Fucking legends of the time. And they kind of go back and forth a little bit. It sounds like in this track.
They do.
It's a fun one. But yeah, when we come back, we have a little message from Biz Marquee on the album Concept Hour. Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Yeah, how's it going, Brad? How you doing?
Pretty good. How
you doing tonight?
Doing okay.
Sweet.
How's Nate doing over there? How you doing, Nate?
Oh, he's doing good.
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah, look at this guy doing good.
Doing really good. That's good. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about the beers. You want to actually just? I don't really know what I'm drinking, honestly, tonight. So I think I'm just going to defer to you, Dave.
What's in your
what
mystery beer?
What, Dave? What am I drinking?
Mystery beer.
Mystery beer.
All right. Well, the first one you didn't have, but I started off with a Revolution Straight Jacket because why not start with something very light, right?
Yeah.
A nice barley wine.
Straight Jacket, probably inspired by that Chris Gaines album
I think it
cover.
was, because he was. Didn't he?
Yeah, he was in his famous.
He was committed, right?
Jacket. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is he still committed, or is he out now? Is there a Chris Gaines 2? Do we know where he's at?
Chris Gaines on drugs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not out yet.
He's still an addict, right?
I'd like to think that it's in the works. Maybe I'm thinking that maybe he's moved on into new things
fine guy.
in life besides his crippling sex addiction.
Yeah.
That can only really take you so far.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back to this.
Yeah.
So then had a 2019 Dark Lord. That was the first one we cracked into.
Yeah,
I thought I found some random bottles. Like, why not bring one of these?
I like the wax stuff on
top.
Sparkly purple, pink wax.
The purple wax.
Or violet, maybe.
Violet, maroon. No, violet, pink, something like that.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice.
It's uplifting. It's happy.
Yeah.
The next guy we had was the Untitled Art collaboration with Listerman. This was the barrel-aged Wisconsin Stout.
Ah, okay. From the homeland.
It was the homeland. This was a barrel-aged stout with... It's very dark in here.
With hops.
With hops?
No.
With milk?
Would it be hops? I don't think it would be hops.
It was basically like a milky stout, barrel-aged. But it was pretty solid.
Yeah, nice.
And the last guy was a Behemoth, and I don't remember the date. I didn't look it up. This is probably a 2018, 2019, but it was a barley wine from Three Floyd's Behemoth.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I've been liking all of these. These are
Excellent.
all really
good choices.
Really top shelf choices here tonight.
Just grabbed some random beers and thought, you know what, these guys look. They should be opened.
We're talking about Handsome Boys Modeling School, so we gotta
be handsome. You got Miss Behemoth. She's modeling.
Mm-hmm. She's right on the cover.
Yes.
What about you, Nate? What have you been sipping on tonight?
Well, I had my 2 tangerine IPAs, but from Potosi Brewing, and it's kind of. I mean, I was at the liquor store by my house the other day, and with Megan, and they were like, this guy really is loyal to his beer, because I've been drinking nothing but these all summer.
I've noticed
for the last year or so. Yeah.
I didn't notice, but yeah,
it's like my beer right now.
Yeah. Nice.
But I think eventually it'll change again, because I also was on a pseudo Sue kick for a while there.
Well, what is it about this Potosi that draws you to it?
I mean, it's
refreshing.
It's refreshing, and it's not like other IPAs where you kind of hate how IPA it is. It's more like, it's kind of like if you can make a mimosa into a beer, but way less sweet than a real mimosa. But it has crisp, refreshing citrus flavor.
Yeah.
And I only brought 2 because I want to make sure I can drive home. But
I'm gonna have to get some of that sometime.
Yeah, you'll like it. I think
up my alley.
Yeah.
Especially if it's, I mean, I'm just, now that you've been drinking it all summer, I'm like, wow, what's in that?
I think that it's become so popular that I think it used to be like only in the spring and summer that they brewed it, and I think they brew it all year round now. So
yes, so you have to keep you're keeping it afloat.
Yeah, I'm keeping it afloat.
At other times of the year.
Don't know the time frame, but Dreckenberg's here in town. The cigar bar used to always have it on tap. Not all the time, because I guess in the past very seasonal. But when they had it, I'm like, all right, Tangerine. Don't forget that. It's always a good summer beer.
Yeah, and it probably helps cut through the IPA-ness of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, nice. Well,
Brad.
that's been. Well, I've been drinking what you've been
exactly.
Drinking.
That was the thing.
You've been drinking. I've been drinking some water, H2O.
There we go.
You know?
We add that onto it, and we're done.
Glug. That's done. And we're moving right on to a word from Biz Marquee. This is Calling the Biz.
I want you to sing like the Bee Gees. Oh yeah, I'm like that. I want you to sing like Night Fever. I'm like that. Yo, you do that? I can do that. Yo, you can flip that?
Flipped it.
Man, this has just the Beastie Boy vibes all over when he would do like Benny the Jets. Apparently, like he would come to the studio and he would just sing like classic, like the tracks, and he would just love doing these like renditions of like classic, like staple songs. Like that was his thing.
Biz would?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was like a thing.
Oh yeah, he did it a lot.
Yeah.
Not like them recording, just them fucking around. He would just like start singing. Like he would just really just enjoy that.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff I do when I'm alone. You know, it's usually not in front of people, but he would just do it in front of everyone. Yeah.
He just loved doing renditions of like these, just like this. Elton John does like weird tracks all the time.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So I love the fact that he knew this or caught like, how about Bee Gees? And of course he didn't skip a beat. He's like, all right,
because I had no context when I was listening to it earlier. I'm like, this is a very random conversation, and he was totally down. But yeah, I guess he's known
for doing
that.
this kind of
what I love about this also is that it's like they're talking in this track about him coming in to do something in the studio, you know, but they just use that. Yeah. That's a nice little meta joke for the audience, you know. And I'm not sure if it's because it was scheduling or because it's just funny.
Yes,
that you know there was.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's fucking Biz. That's all you gotta know. It's
and it is really all you need right there. So yeah, a nice little fun clip. This next track we got for you is track 10, and it's called "The Projects" in parentheses PJs.
But it's cool, we gotta make it better. Don't take my sweater on, y'all make my head hurt. I ain't even gonna finish this song, it's too long. I'ma watch cops and my lazy boy in my thong.
But you wouldn't understand it. The PJs is like another planet, heavy like granite.
You wouldn't understand it. The cops will catch your drawers down red-handed.
Yeah. Return of Dell for this one. Dell and Dove. Dove's the other guy that's on this. But yeah, I like that last fucking line there. I'm not even gonna finish this song. It's too long. I'm gonna watch cops and my lazy boy in my thong.
And who doesn't like that, really?
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I don't know. I guess part of when I was thinking of this song, I thought maybe this connected to the theme of the album, possibly. Maybe a day in the life of a male model, you know,
or their early life,
maybe.
Like, oh, maybe
that's true. He's going through some
maybe
hard
he had
times.
his first class. He spent his first $30, got that in, and
that's true. Maybe he's mid.
He made a few poses. He looked at his watch. He had his hands on the wall. He was waiting for the train.
Yeah, and the beat on this one is really, really nice too. I think this one and the next track are probably my favorite point in the album, I think, because it's just after this is like, I don't know, maybe one after another, they just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's everything's clicked by now in the album for me. But yeah.
All the boxes have been checked.
All the boxes are checked. Yeah. I don't know too much about this Dove guy, but you know, he was up in this album along with all these other legends, so I'm assuming he's a cool dude, maybe friends with the gang. But
he's cool with the gang.
He's cool, cool, and the gang.
Oh, and
is the gang. This next track has got some big names, or at least another big name.
Name?
What? What'd you say to me?
Name.
Name. You just said that so differently than you say anything. I was very confused. Name? I was like, that's not how Dave speaks. What was I going to say? I feel like I was just Sean Lennon is on this next track. It's called Sunshine.
Forget about your worries. Forget about the bad times. Life is nothing but a shadow without your sunshine.
We know your only worry now is you're worried about us, worried about you. And even though we stopped worrying, that doesn't mean we're not still sad. And we're happy to let you know that.
Fucking Sunshine. Definitely that's easily my favorite track.
This is a great track, but we'll do maybe a sneak at the end with
this is the one that gets remixed, right?
My absolute favorite track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the end, we're going to
bonus.
We can talk about it here too. You know,
we'll talk about it now.
Because we're gonna just play that in the outro of the episode, the Sunshine Groove Armada Sunshine remix, I think it's called.
I believe so.
Sunset Dub.
It's got a few of the same characters, but you also add in a couple new faces, like especially like Money Mark.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a bigger role in the remix version of it. This one kind of reminds me of like maybe The Truth and another track I can't remember, which was slower, but they're really, really good at this kind of slower hip hop vibe.
Dude, fantastic.
Yeah,
just nailing these tracks, and especially the remix at the end. You'll hear.
Yeah,
is fantastic. But yeah, no, again, Sunshine is really, really good. Like the lyrics across the board are fantastic.
Well, and that part where it's like that one is I didn't listen to all of the tracks, but there's Excellus by a band called COS, COS from 1976. That
they got the hook and the riff. They're a jazz blues band.
Yeah, but like they change it just a little bit at the end, so it doesn't feel like it's going to complete. You know, like it doesn't feel like the notes are going to complete the phrase. It goes on infinitely.
It doesn't resolve.
It doesn't resolve, and it infinitely feels kind of ominous and like almost on edge. It's a really, really cool thing that they do with it. Like it's like they were able to hear that in that clip, like you do with any hip hop thing, and they're just like, okay, that I can turn into something cool. And some of the guitar work is from that too. From what little I heard, it really kind of reminded me of some like maybe middle King Crimson period kind of jazz rock fusion, you know. They sound good. I'm gonna dig into
Hooks
them.
and Riffs 76. So I mean, you're talking kind of close to that period where you're using like the same guitar technique, probably. Or
Yeah. Maybe even ahead of some King Crimson sounds in that respect, because like it might have been like 80s that King Crimson started doing this kind of stuff. But it's really good though. The clips they're choosing for this, or the samples they're choosing for this, are just kind of meant to be together, you know. And then the Sunset Armada remix, same clips. So Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of changed the a couple of the collaborators a little bit and just kind of changed it up. They added a little more talking from Father Guido.
Father Guido Sarducci. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got a little bit.
I was halfway there.
Like he introduces it. Like at the end of the album, you hear from.
Yep.
We'll get to it, but Father Guido Sarducci, who is joining the modeling school and talking about how it's helped him.
It's worked for him.
It's worked for him. And he ends the album and it kind of goes right into introducing
this little
bonus track. So it really does fit with the rest.
So
of the
stick
album,
with us.
but-
Stick with us.
A religious man who's into handsome boys school for modeling.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
are you curious of his motives?
Yeah. Anyway,
I will say to clarify for Handsome Boys Modeling School, no one in the classes seemed under 18. They were all adult men. It's not.
They're all adult men. They all had $60.
The joke is that they're men.
They're all handsome boys.
Yeah, the
though.
joke is that they're men and they're being called handsome boys. Just to clarify, this isn't all about kids. But
how dare you, listener?
How dare we're canceled. But no, it's it is. I don't know what that character comes from. I think it's from a radio personality.
It was SNL.
Originally. Oh, that's right. You said SNL. That's right.
The character actually was like Father Guido Sarducci was an SNL character from like the late 70s, early 80s. Like,
so he just continued. Like he
just kept that character. and They brought him in for this.
Going.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. It's one of those situations.
Yes, we had that situation.
Yeah. Another situation. I forgot that song.
So did I.
Modeling sucks, guys. Here's Modeling Sucks.
Not a male prostitute. Modeling just sucks. They made me take off my top. I am a male model. Not a male prostitute. Modeling just sucks. They made me take off my top. I am a male model. Not a male prostitute. Modeling just sucks. They made me take off my top. I'm not modeling anymore for the two of you. Well, I guess I just have my first taste of the filthy side of this business.
See? There are limits.
That's where I think this episode took a turn. Like that's where it like won me over. I think because the first half I'm like, this is like
weird.
This is kind of silly. This is silly, but I don't know if it's like funny, you know. And then like he gets his first modeling gig, and he's coming in to be the before photo for a before and after picture. For some kind of thing, they're going to replace his face.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny how the photographer he slowly gets him to. He's like, first he's like, oh yeah, why don't you take off like the suit coat, get comfortable. And he's like, why don't you like throw your tie in the air, and then he's like, take your shirt off. And then it immediately becomes as we all know, obviously post Me Too, the horrible fucking dark side of the business where people are taking advantage of you, and it in a comedic way addresses that stuff, and he's that person.
But to jumping that in
just completely, and he's leaning into the ridiculousness of his character too. But yeah, I didn't know Chris Eliot could do all that kind of stuff.
But I mean, bringing this up in early 90s is crazy when you start stop and think about it now, where we're at, what's been happening.
That's true. It was kind of that kind of behavior was kind of an open secret.
Yeah. And I think there's a few people making noise, but I always got pushed away. No, we're But again, a little comedy show, Chris, what? But and just. Same topic, kind of.
Yeah, that's true. It was relevant back in 1990.
Always, just no one was really making the waves.
What I like about this episode too is that they completely kind of ignore typical male insecurities in this episode. You know what I mean? There's no there's no fear that modeling is going to emasculate them or something. There's none of that is part of this episode. Everyone is just these middle-aged dudes of varying like looks, just like fully taking this boys modeling school seriously. Yeah, it's on YouTube, guys. We'll put a link in the description, but it's a pretty good episode for something that's so old. You know what I mean?
And Chris Eliot is pretty goddamn funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. I get it. I get why they gave him a season or so, a little over a season for that. But yeah, really a good show. I can see why it stuck. But yeah. Those clips kind of speak for themselves. You heard them. Like he's really giving it his all with the story for the show.
The dark side of things.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's another, continuation of the thread. But we got another track here. We got 4 more tracks for you guys. This next track is called Torch Song Trilogy. So here is some Sensational from the Jungle Brothers.
Yeah, the chunk of bliss. Yeah. I party properly. Here goes. Holla. Here we go. Yeah, you can take that back. Yo. I party properly. Hold me clocking me. I tell them the time. Be freaky. I script this to pocketful sensational. Avenue pimp and hustler. My luxury vehicle. I'm skidding off the sea.
I love that bit. That they actually go back and remix it, so it sounds like they
rewinding.
Because that happens a lot in rap songs where they're like, oh wait, hold on, let me get the next beat or something, but they leave in, this is done with some,
some
attention to detail.
What they're doing.
Yeah. Prince Paul, he's
on point. He's not fucking up. He's not going to make a mistake.
No. He knows he wants the atmosphere to feel right. But yeah, this is Sensational from Jungle Brothers. So this is a really important person at the time. We were talking about how they you were saying that they made the beats for Paul's Boutique. Is that right? Wait, or is that different?
No, that was the Dust Brothers.
Dust Brothers. Wait, there's the Dust Brothers. There's
the Jungle Brothers.
There's Chemical Brothers.
Yeah.
Are they all similar styles?
They're all related somehow, in their own right way, but not together.
Okay.
They're all families.
Oh, yeah. Extended family.
Like the Brady Bunch. I don't know.
Like cousins,
family,
perhaps.
I don't know.
Yeah. But so yeah, this is the Jungle Brothers. So not the same as the Beastie Boys guys. But
they're just dustier.
These guys are older though, right? Jungle Brothers go into the 80s, I think. So again, another one of these things that's like tying into old school rap to the
like the
middle school rap to the new school rap to the whatever it is now.
Like pretty much kind of like bridging like that gap. Like they're just like bringing them in using those solid beats.
Yeah,
and just like.
Well, I was saying in the Prince Paul one, it's kind of like it's almost like a time capsule too. Where if you listen to that one album, you get and actually look into each artist, it's like a wide swath of hip hop history, which I think that's what he ultimately cares about. It seems to me, like he cares about the preservation of the art of hip hop. You know what I mean? And I can see why LP appears on this later. We'll get to it, but. Being another big producer figure moving forward. This song got a kind of interesting origin. This one is based on the Torch Song Trilogy, is referring to a collection of 3 plays by Harvey Fierstein, rendered in 3 acts: International Stud, Fugue in a Nursery, and Widows and Children First. They center around Arnold Beckoff, a Jewish homosexual drag queen and torch singer who lives in New York City in the late 70s and early 80s. The 4-hour play begins with a soliloquy in which he explains his cynical disillusionment with love. Wow. So, yeah, this one
has a lot of history to the song.
It definitely adds a lot more context here, at least to the titling of the song. I don't think it really connects that much as far as the lyrics necessarily. Let me look here. Oh, by the way, the clip on the beginning, that's Ted Bundy, by the way, saying that I'm not guilty. Does that include the time I stole a comic book when I was 5 years old? I'm not guilty of the charges that have been filed against me. So starts with some Ted Bundy.
Just great digging audio clips.
We got another track for you guys. This next track is also connecting to the themes of the album. This is the Runway song.
The Automator. The Automator.
Just the heavy tones definitely makes it feel like the filthy or the dark side of the whole modeling, right?
Yeah. It does feel pretty dirty in there. Boom, boom, boom. It's a weird. That one's a weird one. This one's one that like kind of threw me off. It's like it's very droning and a bit repetitive.
Well, at the same time, like this, they agree to disagree because I think this fits better than the LP song that's coming up. Because I think that's way different.
That's true. Maybe that's why it feels so much like that, because it's followed up by the opposite.
But at the same time, I think this has maybe like a heavy build that will lead up to that track as well. Like it actually gets you maybe prepared for like this.
It is better on headphones, I'll say. Like I definitely heard some.
The early listening, yes.
Yeah. I need to get a sub for the sound system that we listen to things on. Patreon.com/Flower State Park. I need to get a sub from a
Hit Nerd, call us.
1-608 Hit Nerd if you have a sub. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But yeah, no, I think that you might be right though. There might be the undertones from the episode, like the dirty side of the industry or whatever. And
if it was like a film noir film or movie, I feel like this is the scene where like the detectives try and go undercover and trying to find out like, wait, why was this like, stripper killed? Like it has this like this dark, dirty, like you're in like the like the grimy part of town. Like,
it does have an atmosphere to it.
It does. It has a very vibe and atmosphere.
Kind of like that track 11 with the kind of ambiance that it creates with those weird chords. And this is a Kid Koala, by the way, is the
who also would have been in next year following on Deltron 3030.
Oh, really? Wait, is he in a lot of that?
I believe he's in a lot of those tracks.
I'm sure I mentioned him. We talked about him, but yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, you see the whole gang getting together, figuring their plans out for the next couple of years, which will all be circumvented by Gorillaz' self-titled album.
In 22 years ago, they would have got together and made a great album.
Yep. If only we could go back and like maybe push Gorillaz back like a few years, like maybe have Gorillaz come out in 2003 after the balls already got rolling.
Just a year later.
They just took the stage. They took the spotlight from everyone else that was doing similar weird stuff.
The people have spoken. According to Wikipedia, they loved it more.
Oh wow, they're saying they loved it more than Gorillaz now.
I don't sound Wikipedia. You gotta trust this shit.
That's very cool. I'm glad that it's turned around.
I'm just not making shit up, Brad.
You never know. You never know how history is going to go. But I can't wait for I hope they do another one. Are they? I didn't look it up. Are they both still around?
Maybe Gorillaz with an S. I don't know.
Gorillaz with an S. Just a very average, regular project.
No, we're Gorillaz, not Gorillas.
It's just Damien Albarn in an acoustic guitar.
Or they could be Gorillaz with a Z in the mist.
Yeah, good call.
Gorilla. I don't know.
I'll play back the tape.
They have a box set just called Congo. I don't know.
What?
Maybe they're looking for a giant diamond. I don't know, Brad. Cut me off. I don't know. Cut it.
Let's Megaton Boy, B-Boy 2000.
Missionary positioning, cast the metal claws and the light glistening. Rhubarb clips
Plasma control substance for sustenance quota. Cavity creep incorporated savagery, less than fuck loader. Bushes burning a plot for my aroma. Ingested like the flesh of Christ. Extra nice sacrament, matter device. Tested in a blue lucid fork in the bell ringer. Never say the same shit twice. Period.
It's like the sound of a microwave in the inside. We hear like popcorn pop.
Yeah. It is deep fried.
Man, has anyone heard of LP before?
Oh, man.
Is he famous?
I was pretty excited when this track came up.
Jazz?
I was pretty excited. I didn't know LP was coming up on this album.
Yeah, I learned some history in this album.
I never... Oh, yeah?
I mean, just because of the fact that... I mean, I knew LP was like a producer.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he
went that far back.
That he had that extensive of a career. I thought he was a little bit smaller time, but
yeah, that's what I always assumed at first with Run the Jewels. But you see him in the training video. He's got a
cameo.
I Shot Reagan shirt on, and he's smoking a cigarette.
So you might know this, Brad. Where are LP and Killer Mike both from the same area or town or how? No.
They got introduced to each other via Adult Swim. That's how they met each other. Some guy at Adult Swim was like, y'all should make music together.
I feel like I made friends because of Adult Swim. So, I mean, we're pretty much related at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how I feel about Run the Jewels. I feel like I have some sort of connection and ownership, having been an Adult Swim lover my whole life, you know? But yeah, they were born out of fucking Adult Swim. It's crazy.
That's It's the world we live in now.
And that's the world we live in, you know, and I'm okay with it. I'll meet my next best friend because of, you know, I'll go to Adult Swim. Well, not the pool, but maybe the show. No. You have
maybe
to
like a subreddit. I don't know.
Well, no, you don't need to get a job there. You just need to become friends with someone that works
like a
there.
YMCA? Are we still talking about maybe like Reddit, like the subreddit, like Adult Swim?
I mean, either one. Yeah,
I mean, I like people. I mean, I can make friends, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
LP, I love this track, by the way. This for me, I love when LP gets in this like just complete, just
dude, every time this plays, you're just grinning ear to ear. You're looking like the happiest kid. Like, yeah, this is
like, yes, because this is like unhinged LP. This is like LP before he like. I don't know. Like, it's not like he's tamed himself too much or anything, but like he used to do shit like this that sounds like a mic, like you said, a microwave fucking
live
tape.
and uncut.
You know, it doesn't necessarily sound pristine, but it's like interesting. It's grungy kind of.
It's very dingy,
it's kind
grimy,
of punk-ish. I don't know, in a way. And he himself is pretty grimy back then too. So like, you know, it fits his personality. And yeah, I love this because his rap for this, because it's basically just a fucking
dude. He's
just a ramble from start to finish. You know what I mean? He doesn't really stop.
I feel like you just woke someone from like a bad dream, and you just had them just like, they're just verbally like, and I did this and this, and like, like they're just like recounting everything.
LP did a bunch of drugs the night before, and then they like woke him up on the side of the road, and he just. He spit all of this out, you know.
Record this shit, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I love. He's using. Oh man, I don't know. He's just operating.
Like, what do you pick? I mean, everything is just insane.
Some of this I can't read, and I won't on a mic.
Most motherfuckers just civilly suck a burrito from a shit box anyway.
That's the one I was gonna say.
Yeah. There's some good ones here, man. What was it? Stepped up to Little Johnny, thus survive. Mega word I'm not going to say. Animals from Plastic Bubble Dome, Sulfur Oxide, a Hanley Hospital escapee. If you haven't been hard lately, I feel this is hard. Yeah, it's hard to read this one because this is like
bring him to the. Bring him to the fucking GIMP festival.
Yeah. He's got away with words.
Wait. Go back up a little bit. Megaton B-boy battle sucker bitch remedial flaccid bone piece metal track catalyst.
Wow, what a
It's
line.
literally like, all right, LP, you want to rap? Just, I guess, say some stuff. Like, all right. And like, holy shit, what are you doing?
Whoa, hold on, calm down.
I feel like I think for him, they actually had to make the mix to actually like pair or match with what he was doing. Like, everyone else
there was
coming
nothing
through.
they could do about it.
Sounds R-word, doesn't it? He basically just...
Oh yeah, he's talking about himself.
Yeah.
He's very he is like really very quickly self-deprecating too.
Yeah.
You know? What was it? It's not in this album, but there's one of my favorite lines that he has is y'all can run naked backwards through a field of dicks.
Yeah.
Like just beautiful imagery for what he's talking about.
It's like an H.R. Geiger painting almost.
Yeah. He's always been able to paint like just horrific, like maybe Geiger meets
for all you Dead Kennedy fans out there.
Yeah. Oh man, Dead Kennedy. We gotta cover Dead Kennedys. I was gonna say Geiger and Bob Ross, like
a field of happy dicks.
Two.
I don't know where you.
That's what I'm imagining when I'm imagining LP's thoughts here. You know. Fucking. Anyway, I'm a big LP nut. I will listen to this a lot moving forward now that I know it exists. But what I love about him being included in this album at all is that it proves that it is a, timeless kind of hip hop record. It's like it's got like a foot in the past,
foot in all doors,
foot in the future,
all directions,
and very in the present. They were probably just making a bet on LP as far as just him being someone that had the right vibe.
Did he have a few albums before he had to Run the Jewels?
He was producing.
Did he produce only? Did he have any records out? He was
mostly producing.
Okay.
He had his own label called Def Jux.
Okay, all right.
So he had like kind of this kind of grimy, New York stuff that he was always like the behind.
Gotcha.
Like really early Aesop Rock.
Gotcha.
I think one of his first albums is LP production.
Okay.
So yeah, he was a he had a few of his own things, but mostly he was behind the scenes.
Got it.
And then Run the Jewels was when he really went full out front. He found
his friend online.
Yeah. He found him at the Adult Swim get together, the potluck.
Yes.
But I will always be be thankful to Adult Swim for that. But this next track we got for you guys, I'll stop gushing about LP. This next track we got for you guys is Father Speaks.
Prince Paul and Automator made me the model I am today. If it wasn't for Prince Paul and Automator, I would be modeling in Albania or some Balkan country. Still. Okay. If it wasn't for Prince Paul and Automator, I would not be the model I am today, and hopefully tomorrow.
It is a good character. It's
it's used in this album perfectly. It gets used in the next one. They just keep it rolling. But
yeah,
God damn it!
And I love a good break, a good crack up when someone cracks themselves up like that.
Yes, and Prince Paul. there's always he did like the skits for a bunch of albums, but these were just fantastic.
Yeah. He I don't know that they needed this character, but it definitely added something.
It was not the character you thought you needed, but it was the character you deserved.
And it's a bigger part of the advertisement for the album
they use
too.
that.
Yeah, they use a lot of this in the advertisement.
If it wasn't for Prince Paul and Dad on Man, I would still have $60.
Speaking of Adult Swim, I'm pretty sure this guy voiced someone in home movies.
You mentioned that.
I think it was the Spanish teacher, or the Spanish teacher. The guy that was voicing the Spanish teacher was doing a bit off of this. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to imitate this, maybe.
I think I was watching The Critic and maybe is it Home Movies more.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I've definitely heard this voice
Or no, Dr.
outside
Katz
of both
more, I
Adult
think.
Swim or outside of SNL and this. You know what I mean? I've heard this.
It's a very
distinguished voice. Yeah. Yeah. We ran into another voice, that kind of tied an album together with the Kanye thing. I like this as a device for hip hop albums, like a comedy kind of narrator.
The tiny little skits that just kind of bring it together. And same thing, Deltron. I mean, they use that for. They're all the little bits about like, what's the price of soup nowadays?
There's a lot.
They had like 3 or 4 little skits throughout the whole thing too.
Yeah, and what I love about their skits is they're always just so the production is always so high.
Yes,
it's not just
it's not an afterthought by any means.
It's not just like clearly like they had an idea and they're like just passing the mic back and forth. It's like they thought about it for a second, which is fine. It's fine if you just
it's fine,
pass the mic back and forth and just dick around. That's fine, but yeah, that's Father Speaks. That's how the album normally ends. But we'll let you hear a little bit of the bonus track at the end of this. That's been the original cut for Handsome Boys Modeling School. So How's Your Girl? We might even get to the second one. The second one's got some real bangers as well.
Some good tracks on that one.
This is one of those situations where they're both about possibly equal as far as the quality. You know what I mean? Like, and so far apart. Like that one's in like
99 and 2007, 6. I can't remember.
Yeah, pretty big gap though for between albums.
I would say a solid 6 years easy.
Yeah. So hopefully at some point you can hear
they're
us.
busy. They got a modeling school. What do you want them to fucking do?
Well, it seems like at this point they're running the modeling school. You know what I mean? And they've gotten what's his name from SNL involved.
Chris Eliot.
No.
Wasn't he? He was briefly on SNL though, right?
The you don't want no part of this Dewey Cox guy.
Oh, John C. Reilly. No,
the other one.
The one in
the one saying you don't need.
Sorry,
no part of this.
Yeah.
It is Tim Meadows. But that's been the Handsome Boys Modeling School, and we're gonna go around the horn and find out what everyone has been listening to lately and what they got to plug, and then we'll let you guys hear that sweet outro. I'll start. We'll go with. Wait, hold on. I think you started the. You go.
All right, I'll go.
What do you listen to?
Well, according to Wikipedia, I've been listening to a lot of Cake this last.
Wow, they have
2 or 3 weeks.
Wow, your listenings are infamous now.
I mean, I'm a big fucking deal, Brad. I don't know.
That's true. People are always telling me that.
I mean, people are calling Hit Nerd. They're letting me know shit.
It's ringing off the hook.
It's off the
with stuff for Dave.
We have to get a second line called Hit Dave.
Hit Dave. Yeah, that's. I'm working on that. That one I'm gonna have to pay for though.
You do pay for the minute, but it's worth your while to get a hold of me, and we'll chat about music and whatnot. But no, I've been listening to a lot of Cake the last couple of weeks, and I really just can't stop. Like, there's something about it that is just, it's simplistic, but it's also just. I mean, literally, there's a lot of songs that the lyrics make no sense.
Yeah. That's often,
I'm not going to fucking argue about that.
That's often the case with Cake. Yeah,
but at the same time, like, I can't stop. Like album, like sometimes I'll repeat 1 or 2 and I'll go back and do another one, but like I'll just go back and forth. Like, just it's fun.
Yeah.
But also this last week it'll be the teaser track, but it's the last track of this album we're gonna hear. I'm gonna make a bold statement because we're bold people, Brad.
We're bold people here at the album.
If I had to pick a song, the last song I would ever hear, it would be this track coming up.
Oh damn.
That's how bold I am.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. It's got a whole new significance to me now.
Dude, I'm significant.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Wikipedia says.
That's what that's all what Wikipedia says. Yeah.
It's up in there.
What about you, Nate? What you been listening to and what you got to plug?
I've been listening to a lot of instrumental stuff, and recently I got back into this band called Earth, and one of their albums is called The Bees Made Honey in the Lion's Skull, and it's kind of like feels like the ambient music in like a Western.
Yeah.
And it's actually good to like relax to and
do stuff.
Okay,
nice. And then, as far as plugs though, you have some a lot of YouTube.
Well, I have a lot of YouTube videos
lately
that are up on my Grimgar channel, which is now at youtube.com/c/Grimgar, GRYMGAR.
I believe you could just go /Grimgar possibly. I think that if you drop the C, it also goes to it.
Okay. Well, maybe I can fix that later.
Check that out. See if that works.
Yeah.
I'll have a link in the description though, regardless. But yeah, you've been doing a lot of great videos, a lot of great Minecraft videos lately. You've just been putting a lot out, so it's a lot to see. As far as me, I'm gonna piggyback on the YouTube stuff. You're gonna want to go over to Flyover State Park. We got like a couple episodes out of our YouTube series, Music Movies Tonight. We've been putting a lot of time and effort into those, and we really, really hope that you watch them at least and tell us what you think of them. Give us a like, subscribe, or whatever. Maybe don't even do any of those. Just watch it.
Well, what's the first one out?
The first one out was the Chris Gaines, and then we got the.
It's really good.
It's really, really good. And then
there's already people commenting on the YouTube video.
Yeah, there's so many people. They won't stop talking to us about this Chris Gaines video we made. And we also have out the No Holds Barbecue episode of Music Movies Tonight. You're not going to want to miss it if you want some just fun, competently edited YouTube videos. David
Lee Roth in his prime.
And yeah, if you want to see in his prime, maybe I don't know. That's questionable. But
then you adjust the Wikipedia page, Brad. You say it's questionable.
I don't have the power. I don't. Actually, you know what? I can reach out to my Wikipedia guy.
Or David Lee Roth. We'll just get him on the phone and we'll say David Lee Roth.
That's true. But I think there is at least one Wikipedia guy though, because remember the Breck thing got changed. So if the Wikipedia guy is out there,
follow listener,
do our bidding, please. But so that's fun. But thank you all for listening to another episode of the Album Concept Hour. We really appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of season 4, and we will leave you with this track, this remix of Sunshine by the Sunshine Groove Armada Sunset dub. The Album Concept Hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, John Aker, and Jake the Snake Foster. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Join the discussion on our Discord, tweet to us at Album Concept Pod, or for everything else, go to Linktree/Flyover State Park. See you on Side B. This is Flyover State Park. You are clear to land.